Hey guys, today I'm going to be doing my out-of-box review for the HG Iron-Blooded Orphans Gundam Barbatos Lupus. So as always, a big thank you to MindFenix Hobby Store for supplying me with this kit to share with you guys. If you're living in Australia, do check out their site. Link is down below. And what can I say, but this is just a new form of the Barbatos, and it shares pretty much all of the same pros and cons as the original Barbatos. It has a new look, and the proportions are changed up a little bit. We have the same inner frame with a couple new pieces. The only changes really to the inner frame are just the parts for the inner frame of the upper arm. They're a little bit bulkier, and you'll see that like in the elbow joint there. So really that's pretty much going to be it, but we do have the addition in the inner frame. There is a part in like the lower arm, like right at the wrist there, that lengthens the arm. So in a little bit here in the review, I'll compare this with the Form 4 Barbatos, so you can see that the arms on this design now are definitely longer because of the addition of that extra piece there in the wrist. And then the feet are tall, but it had the same kind of tall legs with the Form 6. The feet are and the legs are all different now. The frame is the same, but the armor parts are all different now, but it had the same kind of shape with the Form 6. So, I don't know, the longer arms are definitely noticeable. I'm not sure how I feel about it. This design, kind of in general, sometimes when I look at it, I really like it. Sometimes when I look at it, I don't like it that much. I don't know, but it definitely has a lot of cool points. And one thing that I noticed that I really enjoyed was that while building the kit, I noticed aspects of the design that I hadn't noticed before by like just seeing images of it. So that is one thing that's definitely like nice about the building process, is that you can actually notice stuff. You can notice stuff. So like say if you've just seen the design just in pictures and stuff like that, but yeah, just building it lets you notice every single little part, right? So let's take a look at the articulation, if that's really necessary. You've seen the articulation of the regular Barbatos and the Form 6. It's going to be exactly the same, but we'll just take a look at this anyway. Point out the stickers for this too. Stickers there for the eyes. Of course, the head shape is quite new and improved, I think. I really like the shape of the head now. Larger beard there, larger V-fin there in the center with this blue piece there. There was safety nubs on the ends of the yellow part. I trimmed those and sharpened the yellow parts there. And on these white parts here on the sides of the head, there was safety nubs on the back of there as well. Trimmed and sharpened those a bit as well. The other thing that's cool about the improvements of this kit, it now has this white piece on the back of the head, where there's the Form 4 just had the frame there, didn't have any armor on the back of the head. This now has this piece there. That was something I hadn't really noticed but much before. Also, the neck piece and these parts going around the side of the torso have like this like pointed out bit there. I hadn't really noticed that much about the design before, but noticed that while building the kit, and I do really like that aspect. So everything going on here, like in the torso and the head, it all has this like slanted point shape there. All does come together and look really, really cool when it's all said and done. So basically the head is going to go up and down and do all of that, so you're going to get it down pretty far there. The shoulders are able to come forward, oops, there we go, come forward about to there, so that's just on a ball joint. The ball joint that's there is going to swing up. We can't really move it up too far because of these huge shoulders on there. So this red part, which has that cool Tekkadan logo molded in there, it's a white piece set inside the red piece there. That is actually able to like slide out a little bit here. Let me see if I can pull that without pulling it off. There we go. That is actually able to slide out to there. And then you can move that if you want, something like that. So that is able to give you a higher range of motion there, I think, by moving that out of the way a little bit. Also, I don't know if that has any other gimmick. Maybe it has some other purpose that we just haven't seen in the show yet. Not sure, or we saw it and I missed that. But anyway, that can do that. So we'll just push that back in there. And then the arm just going to move like normal. We have a rotation there at the top, and a bend there at the elbow is going to give you that much bend. So as I was saying, there's an extra piece in here that's going to lengthen the frame in the arm there. So the hands are cool. We have these new hand designs that like the covers for the hands flow really nicely with the forearms there. So that makes a really nice look. The overall shape of the forearms is pretty interesting. This kind of shape here. Of course, we have a seam line on the front here and then on the back as well. I saw a cool video on YouTube about how to modify the parts to remove the seam line. So I recommend checking that out. I'll try to remember to put a link for that down in the description there so you guys can check that out. It's in Japanese, but it's just showing you. Just the text is in Japanese, but you can just watch the video and you can see what's going on there. So here we can see we have pegs there in the back of the arms where the extra guns are going to attach later. We have these extra little bits here. Those are like kind of accessories actually, but I just have them plugged in. Those are to connect weapons to the backpack. The backpack has this same movement here with this thruster that moves there in the center. That's it. This whole part of the backpack comes off. Same with the Barbatos, other forms of it. Yeah, so you can do some stuff with that. We'll come back to that in a moment. In the torso, we have a little bit of bend here, like that. There's a ball joint at the bottom and a hinge at the top to give us some nice range of movement there in the stomach. Front skirts are joined, but you can just clip those in the middle to separate them. The side skirts will move back and forth like that, and then up and down. They're just plugged on. There you go, onto that polycap there. So these stickers here on the side skirts, there's a blue sticker there and a blue sticker on here on the side skirt parts there. On the legs are going to rotate at the top and then give us a nice double joint here. In the knee, let me see if I can pull this up there. There we go, so a nice good full bend there. Of course we have a sticker there on the knee there for that symbol. On the leg, this black part here is a sticker that doesn't really fit all that well on there. So that's just on the inside and outside of the sides of the legs there. And then the foot is just, again, it's going to be the same. It's got the rotation there, no problems with that. This front ankle guard there will move, the toe moves up and down. This red part here, that's a sticker on the back of the foot, again, like other versions of the Barbatos. So yeah, overall very good articulation. Of course, as with the other versions of the Barbatos, the articulation is very, very good. Very little in the way of limitations in the articulation. So let's get into the accessories. I think I got all the stickers on there. Here on the backpack, these are stickers here, these black parts there on the side of the backpack. And I think that's all. Okay, anyway, let's get into the accessories. So starting with the most boring, here's this. I'm not really sure why we're getting this. We got this with this and with the HGIBO, the next kit I'll be reviewing for you guys. This will go up underneath the skirt there. And it's just basically like an extension for plugging this into an action-based connector. I don't really know why, but I think because of the way this front skirt part there is just pointed down, it's really close to that plug-in there. So I guess maybe like you can't fit an adapter, you can't fit the action-based plug up in there, so we need this adapter to be able to reach that. So I guess that's what that's for. Then for the hands, aside from just these hands, we do actually have some hand options with this kit, finally. And while they are useful, they aren't really the most exciting. Rather than just these plain holding hands here, we have another set of holding hands that have a bent wrist. So this is going to make it better like for holding the sword and weapons and different weapons and stuff like that at an angle. But, you know, it would have been nice if we would have got the open hands included with this kit, but the open hands are going to be included with the option set, which I'll also be reviewing soon. So we'll just put those to the side. Then we also have these. These are the joint kind of mechanical arm parts for those things on the backpack, now with joints, as I felt the Form 4 just really should have had joints on that. So these, like I said, this part will come off the backpack and we can plug this onto here and just do something like that. And then you can use this for, you know, whatever, if you're going to be holding the gun on there, that long cannon that was included with the previous form of the Barbatos, or, you know, whatever you fancy. Anyway, so the weapon that we do have for this kit, and it is just the one and only weapon, is the sword mace. And although it's pretty cool, like I said in the unboxing, I do kind of wish this would have come with one more weapon, maybe even if it's something simple, like another sword or a dagger or something like that. Would have been fine, just like a one-piece thing, but this is it, so just kind of have to make do with this. Now, of course, this can attach onto the backpack like so. Or if you wanted to have it attaching onto this part here, you can do it like that, like he's like handing it to himself or something. Anyway, but then of course we can just put that into the hand. And just for a quick comparison here, you can see that obviously the Barbatos Lupus is going to be standing much taller than the Barbatos Form 4 here. Now a lot of that is just due to those feet just being jacked up like about a centimeter or a centimeter and a half, like that. So quite a bit. And then the arms, you can see, are definitely lengthened. The forearm here is going to be much longer. So you can see that same kind of mechanical detail showing through the arm is in that spot on the arm of the Barbatos here, and then we just have a little bit more armor before we get to the wrist, and this one we have a much longer armor piece there before getting to the hand. So definitely some interesting differences. So like again, this, I think Bandai has done a good job of making these the same Gundam, but making the kit and the design plenty different enough that people are still going to want it. If they made it, you know, too similar, people will think like, oh, I already got the Barbatos Form 4. Not really too much of use getting the new Barbatos Lupus, but again, they've been able to make it different enough that there's quite a bit different on there, and definitely worth owning both. So the thing that I think is really great about this design is that it's taken like the very strange just design of the original Barbatos and other forms of the Barbatos included, and just really, you know, taking it even the next step further and being extreme with those really, really interesting design features, especially like in the legs and the feet. The feet are quite big and strangely shaped, and then those side skirts are like similar kind of side skirts we've seen with like the Form 5 and the Form 6. But they're just like, everything just looks even more refined. And I think that, you know, that's the point, like that is kind of the point of the story, that Tekkaden is now like a fully formed thing, and it's definitely reflected here with the Barbatos. So I think that's a really cool way of how they're like tying in the design changes, so that it's not just like a random design change just for no reason, like okay, it got an upgrade and now it looks like this, but it definitely looks like a much more finished and much more refined design. And so I think that's a cool thing, whether you like that or not, whether you like the design of this or not, you know, is just gonna be up to you, but I think that's a cool aspect of this. But at the same time, as I said at the beginning of this review, this does share the same positives and negatives of the original Barbatos. Now, one of the negatives of this kit is that it does have quite a few stickers. Not quite as bad as the original Form 4, because that had quite a lot, especially like for those red lining parts on the shoulders and knees and things like that. The stickers for this kit aren't as bad, and the stickers are for areas that are going to be quite easy to paint, as they're areas that are very easy to mask. Does have a few areas of some bad seam lines. That's like on the side skirts. I forgot to point that out before, but the side skirts, of course, are just two pieces sandwiched together, so you have a seam line going all the way around the white part there. And then on the forearms as well, those are the most notable points, and really probably the only areas that you're really gonna have to notice, really gonna have to do anything about the seam lines, I guess. So not that much, but those can be a little bit difficult. But definitely watching that video I pointed out before, it addresses both of those, the side skirts and the forearms. So I would definitely recommend checking out that video for help with the seam lines and just how to do some quick and easy modifications for those parts. On the plus side, however, though, as you can see, it can hold the sword mace with both hands. That's good. So overall, this is of course another great kit. I think Bandai has a really good formula going with these HGI and Blood Orphans kits, especially the Gundams of the line. I think are developed and just engineered really well. They have a lot of great details. The articulation is absolutely fantastic on them. And the weapons and accessories are usually pretty good. It would always be nice to have a little bit more, but then they're all like supplementing that with the weapon sets they're selling separately. So yeah, it's kind of a drag they sell that stuff separately, but doing that does help keep the cost of the kits themselves, the models, or I should say the mobile suits, helps to keep their prices down by including less accessories. So I don't know, there's things to these kits that could be improved upon, but overall they're really, really nice. So I think if you're interested in this kit, you probably didn't need me to tell you this, but it's definitely recommended. So it's just going to be a matter of if you're liking the design or not. I think if you're liking the design of this, then you probably could have already guessed that you're going to like the kit, because like I said, there's already been a few different forms of the Barbatos out, and they've all been very highly praised by, I think, pretty much everyone who's built them. So that's it for me, guys. Thank you so much for watching this. If you do have any other questions or comments, you can leave those down below. Like I said, I've built and reviewed a few different forms of the Barbatos now, so you have a pretty much good idea what to expect, but there are some cool changes to this form, so it's definitely worth checking out. Alright guys, I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.